Welcome to the new Kwikfinder Online. We're going to take a few minutes to introduce you to some of the improvements that we've made and give you a tour of the new design. While we've added loads of features, the core of Kwikfinder is straightforward part number and application lookup. Simply type in your number at the top, or use the pull-down menus to search by application. We've added a lot of information to Kwikfinder over the years, and most of the enhancements that we're going to look at are geared towards providing you as many options as possible to find the part that you're looking for. The first thing you'll notice about the new Kwikfinder is the tabbed browsing. Notice that you now have tabs for Search Applications, List Applications, Show Unit Detail, Show Parts Detail, List Parts, and Specification Search. The first step is to look for an item. By default, Kwikfinder opens up to the new Search Applications tab. So let's go ahead and do that. In the new Applications search, you'll see the new layout that includes vehicle type as a second search criteria. This really makes things cleaner and faster. When you perform the application lookup, you're automatically taken to the List Applications tab to select the exact unit you're looking for. If you decide you should have looked up something differently, it's no problem. Just click on the Search Applications tab again, and you can refine your search without having to type the whole thing from scratch. It's like having a back button with everything that you searched for already pre-filled in. This is one of the benefits to tabbed browsing, and it's one of the biggest changes to Kwikfinder 2.0. It takes the place of the back button and is much faster. Part number searches work the same way. Search for a number using the search box at the top of the screen. When you do, you're taken to a List Parts tab to choose one of the items that met your search criteria. Choose one, and you'll go to the Show Part Detail tab to see all of the information about that item. Did you choose the wrong one and want to go back to pick a different part? Just click on the List Parts tab and you're back to the previous page. Select a different item from the list and you're off and running. Now when you entered in something into the search field, you may have noticed another enhancement to Kwikfinder. See the drop-down box next to the search field? You can now search by begins with, equals, contains, or ends with. This will come in really handy when you get a unit that only has part of the number showing. The last tab, called Specification Search, is just that. You can now search for a component or complete units by its characteristics. Let's choose Rotating Electrical Component, and then select Armature. The next thing we see is the Armature Spec Sheet. Every type of component has its own spec sheet. Let's choose overall length of 137. All measurements are listed in millimeters. In this case, we only got one result. If we'd gotten a lot of choices, we could go through and choose another dimension. The trick is to start with as few dimensions as possible, and then keep narrowing it down as needed. Let's look at another way we can refine searches. Let's go back to the part number search, and type in 1109. Click on Search, and you'll see that you get a large number of results. If you look up at the top middle of your screen, you'll notice that we're on page 1 of 60. By default, Kwikfinder displays 10 results at a time. You can choose how many results you'd like to display by selecting the pull-down menu at the top of the screen. Now, even after displaying 50 results at a time, you'll notice we've got a lot of information to go through. We can further refine our search in several ways. First, you have the option to select begins with, equals, contains, and ends with in the pull-down menu next to the part number search. For example, if the exact part number was 1109 and we selected equals, it would limit the 600 part numbers that we had before to just 2. Selecting with begins with and ends with is a great way to find a partial number. Second, if you're looking for a specific company's part number, or just the Leicester number, you can type it in at the heading labeled NBR type. Note, these fields are case sensitive. For example, let's type in Leicester with a capital L to narrow down our search results. If you'd like to start fresh, you can click on the Reload button at the top and left next to the Search Applications tab. If this were a situation where we only had a partial number and we knew it was an Iskra alternator, we could go through and enter that information at the top of each heading to limit our search results even further. You also have the option of clicking the magnifying glass on the top left of your screen to narrow or expand your search results. Let's select and click the Add button. You'll now be prompted to narrow your search with more specific criteria. Once you finish selecting your options, click Find to finish. Anytime that you've limited your search and you want to see all your results again, click on the Reload button at the top left, or hit the Search button again to reset. Whenever you perform a search, you can get information by moving your mouse over the thumbnail. You can find specs, applications, breakdowns, and view any notes that you've added about a unit without having to click back and forth between the List Parts tab and the Unit Detail tab. Another useful feature is the Recent Searches link at the top of the page. By clicking, you can display your last 10 application, unit, and part searches. Any searches that you've made are saved from session to session. This means that if you come back to your computer after lunch and your browser's closed, you can pick up right where you left off before. Many of the additions that you're seeing to the new Kwikfinder are the result of feedback that we got from our customers. Feel free to contact us anytime with input, feedback, and suggestions. We're available via phone and email. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day.